I got his number, Lauren. I got his number if we need it. We'll see. Okay, it is Monday, March the 16th at 6:30 p.m. This is a Finance, Legal, and Audit Committee meeting. Roll call, please.
Burrow.
Here.
Garfield. Rolfs.
Here.
Mensch.
Here.
Peterson.
Present.
DeWitt.
Here.
Pence.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
8 present, 1 absent.
We have no public other than who may be speaking. I do not see a representative here for Sarah Tanner that I know of. I think you all got information about what her issue is or what her request is. Did everybody get a chance to check that out, what she's wanting to do? Do you want to?
Looking for, I don't remember it.
Huh?
I don't.
She's
remember.
got the container with the,
Oh, that's the one we're talking about. Okay.
the person wanted the container up on East Cherry
I
Street.
think we're gonna have to ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna table that,
Yeah.
okay? She was on the agenda, but she is not here, and we have a lot of questions. So we are tabling Sarah Tanner. Okay. Next up is Treasurer's Report. Y'all got copies of Treasurer's Report, and I'm gonna make a comment that I make every month. The Parks Fund is going to be askew for probably the whole year because of all the activity we have and the stuff we're purchasing for our Parks grant and for our TIF activity. It's all of that's gonna be paid back, but temporarily it has to be in a minus. Everything else looked normal. Any other comments for Treasurer's Report? If not, any motion in a second?
I'll make that motion.
I will second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Burrow.
Yes.
Rolfs.
Yes.
Pence.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
DeWitt.
Yes.
Mensch.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Roll call carried.
Okay, thank you. Next up is 911 dispatch fee discussion. Alderman Miller and I met with 2 representatives from the county board last Monday at the county. We had pretty good discussion. As you know, this has been a discussion for a while now about the 911 dispatch fees. We haven't had a change for a few years now. And what I feel we got out of the meeting was they should have been increasing these fees probably for the last 10 years, and they really haven't been increasing them like they probably needed to. You see some of the numbers here about their general fund, their public safety fund, some of their 911 ETSB money, and what Watseka has been paying. We're currently paying $126,000. They requested a little while back that we make a considerable jump to a 29% increase, and we rejected that, and I went back to the their finance committee with another proposal of 4% increases. I'm also asking for a 3-year contract instead of just 1 year at a time. I want to try to get some idea of where we're going to be in the next 3 years or push out further. I have some thoughts. Don and I have talked about this extensively. They're requesting May 1st, which is going to be our new fiscal year, a 15% increase right away. A 15% increase, and they want 10% for the next 3 years. So 15, 10, and 10 is what they're like to see. Those numbers are, as you see, I scribbled them in. 145,000 would be May 1st. And then a year would be 159,500. And then the third year would be 175,450. The only other alternative that I can see that I think would be more acceptable possibly was a simple 10% increase every year. They want to see that first year 15%, but if we do a 10% increase for the next 3 years, it'd be 138,600 for May 1st, and then another year would be 152,460, and then the third year would be 167,706.
How do they justify a 10% increase a year? And what's causing that?
Like I said, I think some of it is a catch-up. It's trying to catch up to the concept has always been, when there's been a combined dispatch services, is that the county pays a third, ETSB pays a third, and the city of Watseka pays a third of their finances or of their cost for the 911 dispatch telecommunicators. So that's kind of how we ended up with 126,000 to start with. Actually, it was 120,000 in 2023.
Isn't this the same budget though that we discussed where some of our discussion was the fact that it's
With Eric Raymond?
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yeah, it
we
started
Same
at
budget.
220.
right, and that we hold like
Well, he was wanting to go to the 162,000 for 25.
Right,
But we
Benny didn't sign that contract and stuck with 126.
yeah.
yeah, but I'm thinking somewhere along the lines, I can't find it. I thought I had it here, but that we cover what 30% of it, but we only have 10% of the population. Or I don't remember the
It's-
math on that. But
It's true, and then that was some of Don's original discussion is,
okay.
you have to look at it a little bit differently than population because you have to go by the amount of radio traffic that the dispatch handles,
Okay.
and not by population.
Okay.
A third of it is county sheriff activity. Another third is actually fire and EMS. And another third is the city of Watseka PD, fire, EMS. So, we originally thought, oh, yeah, population, we're,
Yeah, that's
I guess my
feel like-
biggest problem is the fact that this came on as a surprise to us, and we don't have enough representation on this to watch these figures and justify why it's happening so fast. And, if we're a third of this, that we need a third representation on the board financially to figure out what's happening to us so we can come back to our board and explain this to put it into our budget for the next year. That's my only beef with this.
okay,
Well, we could ask for more. Mark Harris is supposed to be representing us now.
Right.
So it's the only one we have, from my understanding.
Well, we probably need more. That way, at least, we don't get surprised like this. So,
they admit that, this should have been dealt with, the last 10 years
Yeah.
instead of just the last few years.
yeah.
So I just wanted to bring it up. A decision does not have to be made now.
okay.
I just wanted to let you guys know, we met with them and what discussions were talked about and try to get some input and some direction. And, because they'd like to have some kind of decision made by May 1st. So, any other?
Was their proposal 35%?
Yes, they wanted they wanted the first year to be 15%.
Is that applying to all three revenue streams? Or
Right now, the ETSB is paying 162,397.90.
Saying all three areas have that dramatic increase, have a 10% increase, or just us?
No, they actually have more,
They have more.
yeah.
Well, the county is actually covering more than a third, is what she keeps telling us,
The county,
picking up the slack.
right,
Okay.
all of these several years past, whatever the city hasn't been covering, the county's been covering it.
Okay.
So they're trying to get more, I guess, fairness to
So what
county
was-
and equal out the funding.
So what
more
was the
equal.
reason that they never really brought it up to us when it was time? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's my problem.
I don't have that answer.
okay.
So
All right.
I just wanted it to be brought up. I wanted you to think about it. It'll be brought up in April. After we're gonna do some more discussion, I would appreciate input between now and our next finance meeting in April. Or if you guys got some thoughts about what you want me to take back to the county board or to the 911 director, I would certainly do that. You're welcome to give me some input whenever between now and the next finance meeting.
If I could have more numbers to look at and their budget and history, I'd take a look at that.
I will pass that. Okay, everybody satisfied with that discussion, or do you want any more?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Next up is the announcement of, unfortunately, Eric Brandt resignation and an accompanied job description. And we had to work on him a little bit between myself and Don and Kathy. He is going to stay with us until October 2nd. And Lauren. I understand he's wanting to retire. He's at the retirement age, and he's had a full career in the concrete business up in Kankakee, so he certainly has enjoyed working here. He tells me weekly that he's gonna miss what he does here because he really enjoys it. So
We're such nice people, huh?
we are nice people. I don't wanted you guys to be aware of it because I have a job description here that Eric made out, and I guess I'd like to have permission to get the word out and get it out to, I'm not sure where exactly, how I want to get the word out for the job opening. The job opening is going to be in Indeed or somewhere. We'll have to get it out, to get the word out that we have an opening, so.
That's this document dated July 26, 23 with the 6 bullet points.
Yes.
You want to title it? Code inspector, job description?
Yeah. Yeah, that
Semantic.
came from Eric, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, this came from Eric, so.
Okay.
However you want to title it, I guess, building inspector / code enforcement.
You can kind of look through it.
Yeah.
And make sure that, that's just the responsibilities that he's been in charge of,
Right.
so.
I did tell him that he didn't list one, laser operator.
Well,
The people that know will get a laugh out of that one.
hard for me to give input on. I don't know all that he does, so hard for input on that, but
Okay,
respect his decision to retire.
yeah.
So
Well,
So-
his timeframe here should put us past the demolition of Nettie Davis grade school and that sort of stuff.
Good.
So that should be pretty well along, or maybe totally done by that time.
Yeah, there's
Good.
several projects that he said he's gonna wait around for. It said, he was gonna, his initial was gonna be May 1st, and we talked him out of that, so.
Okay.
I just wanted to basically let you guys know and get permission to put the job out there as an opening,
Absolutely.
okay? All right, thank you. Next up is, I'm not gonna be on this discussion too long, Park District and the Chamber. Apparently there was an unknown contract that extended into 2028. So we are currently in limbo at this point with the depot. I just wanted you to be aware of that.
That contract has no out clause.
That's what we're checking on.
There's gotta be one.
Not necessarily. Not everybody looks for out clauses in certain things when they do them. They just
No.
sign them. So,
I just wanted the council to be aware
Okay.
of the change. Right now, it's on hold. Okay. Next up is, as you know, we have the Audit grant going on, and one of the requirements is that they get a outside auditor to make sure that the city and Fox Group are moving the numbers correctly through this process with the Audit grant. So Clifton Larson is a authorized person to do the audit. They also do our annual audit, but they have been, they have the ability to, they are approved to do the Audit grant audit. So there was a letter submitted here by them, and it looks okay to me. So if there are no discussions, let's, any more discussion? Let's approve it.
So what are we approving? Is it like?
We
to
are
allow this
approving,
person-
we are engaging Clifton Gunderson, or Clifton Larson, for, to be the audit administrator for the Audit grant.
So everything
It's
looks right.
required by law that a third party look at our finances as we go through this,
Okay.
okay? It's something that we have to do.
Is this going to be extra money for them to do this?
Yes.
Yes,
What's the fee?
It says in there 5%. It doesn't give a dollar figure.
Okay.
Okay.
Page
That's
3.
because these are CPAs and Fox is not, is that correct?
Fox is an independent CPA, and you can't be an independent.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
On page 3, it's got the fee schedule. It just says 5%, but it doesn't say 5% of what. But you got to have it if you want your money back from the Audit grant.
Yeah, it's required by Audit grant to have a third party.
Yep.
Good questions. Okay, anything else for this discussion? If not, I need a motion in a second.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Miller,
Yes.
Peterson,
yes.
Pence,
Yes.
Rolfs,
Yes.
DeWitt,
Yes.
Mensch,
Yes.
Bro,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Roll call carried.
Next up is ordinance pertaining to meetings. I know there's always been questions about if we're gone, we're sick, we're somewhere we're not in the meeting, we can come in by a phone call or other means, video call or whatever. This ordinance clarifies remote attendance. So it kind of helps explain to you what you can do and what you can't do if you're not here but you want to be part of the meeting. It's just a little bit of cleanup, actually, to clarify remote meeting activity.
Terry, next time you go to Florida, you can be a part.
Yeah, move to Florida.
We have to have a quorum of members present, though.
Yeah, we have to have a quorum before they can call in and be part of the group.
And we're not streaming live, so how do we do video?
We
I
can
don't know
do-
that you can do video. It has to be, I mean, the only thing we have is speaker. And
it'd have to be
previous
by
council
phone.
members have said that that speaker is not clear. You
I
cannot
know.
hear.
It's not the best setup in the world, but I think the purpose of this ordinance was to help clarify what we can do, what we can't do.
Yeah,
Okay, I mean, it just said here by video or audio. That's what I
Yeah.
was wondering.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Could do a Zoom call.
we could set up a Zoom call or similar teleconference call, or even I would assume I could FaceTime Terry Wells in Florida. He sits right there, his
Right.
beautiful
We could
on
do
the iPad, and
FaceTime,
I can
sure,
see him.
right.
So I think there's video means we could do. I think it opens the door for the future if we ever
Yep.
want to have that ability. Yes.
Yeah.
What about emailing votes, or is that in probably a different ordinance on there? But do we have the ability to, if something comes up and Mr. Mayor says, "Hey, we need some approval. This is what I'd like to do," can we vote or email? Is that
I don't think,
within
it-
our?
I don't think it includes email.
They have to be live in order to give you a vote, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah,
a
we have to
voice, a voice vote.
We have to have live.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, if there's no more discussion for meetings? If not, I need a motion and a second to approve ordinance
You don't necessarily.
2780, oh, not today, never
No.
mind, not till full council.
Yeah.
No other discussion, no, so,
Okay.
okay. All right,
And that ordinance is 2783, correct?
yes, it is.
Yes.
All right.
And no transfers this month for finances. There will be next month. I had a couple of other notes here. I don't know if you saw the letter from the Illinois Housing Development Authority in the state, basically confirming about our application that was sent in on February 25th. And this is a letter from the state saying that we have your application, and here's what's going on, and here's the people involved, here's the money involved. And they wanted some of any more comments, if we had any more comments for this application. I'm going to send back some very positive comments, of course, and encouraging comments back to the state about this project. So I just wanted you guys to see the letter and that what progress was being made on it.
And the 45 units.
Yes, there was one change, and we called Carly today about it. If you look at the paper, it says 45 units, not 50. And so we called Carly and say, hey, what's going on? Why the change? The change is that they were not getting the numbers to work out with the finances. So they had to pull and remove a building, 2 buildings.
Well, this would be one for
One
the
built,
units.
one building off of the project because the numbers weren't working. The numbers were working good with 45 units, not 50. So during the plan, they pulled back to 45 units. Okay, any other discussions about that? I just wanted you guys to be updated about what we got from the state. They are looking at the application.
So did we sign something with these guys for 50 units? Or has this just been what they can afford?
It was just the application.
This is like the pre,
But we never signed anything about how many units were going in there.
I don't think so.
No, they determined what they thought was gonna financially work in that location and with that much, with the 10 acres.
Okay.
And they're basically pulling it back because the finances weren't working with 50 units.
All right. And then
But there's multiple funding, multiple funds that are funding this whole project, more than just the state.
okay. And then the down below, it says the owner has applied for financing under the following. The gap financing, is that gonna be our responsibility, their responsibility, or state's responsibility?
That's part of it's part of the whole project,
Okay,
That's part of theirs, yeah.
part of their project, not ours.
all right. So their project.
Yes,
All right. So
it's their project.
we aren't spending
No,
any more money,
no,
just what we bought the land
correct.
and gave it to them.
That's correct. The money you're seeing on this paper is all theirs.
Okay.
Are we gonna have public hearing on this, or just go through with it?
Well, she had a couple meetings here, the public was all invited.
Okay,
Unfortunately, very few showed up. I think we only had like 5 or 6.
okay. I was just curious.
This is, as you guys know, this has been going on through Mayor Allhand's administration also.
Yeah.
Actually started through there. Okay, next item is, also, I believe you got a copy of this letter from, Andrew Heckenkamp from, he's a coordinator with the National Register of Historic Places. This is letter to inform us that, the downtown Watseka is now a downtown historic district
Oh,
officially.
finally happened.
Nationally. We are on the National Register of Historic Places as of March the 13th. I got that letter. Exactly what that means, I'm trying to learn what that means as far as the city goes. I'm not sure exactly as far as the finances goes and what it's going to do to downtown businesses. How it's going to help them, I'm not sure yet, so I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm learning as the rest of you are, how this is going to help the city, in what way. But
Grants, maybe.
it is, yeah, it's going to help in some ways, so I don't want to speak out of turn, so as soon as I learn more, and maybe as soon as some of us do some more research about that, what that means for local cities and towns, bring it on, and we'll hopefully move everything forward. I think this is a fabulous, wonderful thing that's going to happen downtown, so I'm pretty excited about it. Last thing is the Watseka Farmers Market donation. And Yami, I'll let you speak to that. I think we all got copies of that.
So we are going to be on our last month of the winter market. So next month, April, is going to be the last one, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to start our summer market. So the break is that we are starting to, prepare for the summer, prepare the site, and then also the winter, like recruiting the vendors and all that. So I know this is our 7th year. We've, done a wonderful job of, establishing a good a presence in the community. And I just wanted to point out to Angelina, you can stand up. You're the rock star of this one. So she really has stepped up and helped the city to, provide a good reputation and building community, and I think this is a wonderful thing to do. So her and I, we are working together with, also different businesses, and see what is needed within the community and all that, so that we can bring more activities for the kiddos, for the community, for the seniors. So I know we're gonna do the Shuck Festival again, because we did it wonderful last year. And then we also, my goal is that we're gonna try to have music every week. We're gonna shoot for that, but who knows? That's gonna go. And then also we're gonna have a few themed days, so in that way, each month we're gonna have some special, like activities besides just the vendors being there selling their produce and stuff. And then also, if the councils, more bring more ideas, right? You wanted to see anything that along with the farmers market we're doing, we wanted to hear from you. So in that way, we can provide more for the community. I do think that the market really has not only provide a opportunity for the people within the Iroquois County and Watseka, so that the local people, they can make a little bit money, and then they also finding more connection within the community. So that is the thought that I have.
And the money you got last year was for, like music, providing music and.
Yeah,
and-
music. And then this year I wanted to pay Angelino because she really does a good job. She has been doing that for the past 2 years on a volunteer base. So I do wanted to pay her for her time, effort, and everything that she does for us. So that is the thought of that. And then also for the site rental, and then the extra activity that we're gonna be bringing it on.
Okay.
Do you have any sort of financial records, budget, anything to kind of show how the money's being or to support the spending of it?
I can make up one, like
I
type one.
think it would be wise to keep it clean,
Yeah.
that is
Yes.
being used for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other thoughts or suggestions for this request?
On average, how many people do you think attend?
For the farmers market, Angelina.
Come on up to the podium, Angeline. Thank you.
On average, we probably see anywhere between
I would
probably
say
75 to 100.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And
100.
specifically, Yame had mentioned the Shuck Fest we did last year, and we ended up doing that at the very tail end of corn harvest season. We want to get ahead of that this year, just due to circumstances. It had to be later last year, but that yielded an extremely high turnout, especially with the free kids zone that was in the center. That brought out a lot of families, and it was truly a joy to just see a whole bunch of kids and their parents spending anywhere between an hour and a half at the market, because we had music all day, free activities, which is, to her point, trying to have more of that on a consistent basis. But that day specifically, we gave out over like 100 ears of corn, and probably saw closer to 250 or so people come throughout those 4 or 5 hours of the market. So it keeps increasing more and more. Of course, things that are outside of our control, such as inclement weather, that's always going to be a damper on things. But believe it or not, even some of the days where it's rained, people still will show up as soon as the rain will stop. My biggest thing is just always keep showing up and have that consistency, and the market has been exactly that. And we just keep seeing more and more people turn out, and more vendors signing up. This winter market that we're just now wrapping up next month, we barely get to the date after a market has ended, and the next market for the following month is already almost completely booked with vendors, because people are wanting to sign up because they see that this market is growing and the community is starting to show up more and more consistently.
How many markets do you do for the whole year? I know all summer you have markets every Saturday?
So the summer market, we start the second Saturday of June, and then it usually lasts until when the crops when the vegetables and produce are out. So usually around September-ish, and then start dying out.
So
a little
every
bit.
week for
Every week.
several months?
Yes. So
Every week?
at least during the summer month. And then the winter market, we actually started this past last year was the official one that we started. I wasn't even thinking of it because we did it a few times, and then it was kind of on and off. And then after she joined it, and then we did it more consistent basis, like once a month. We will do every third Saturday, and then we'll have a winter market. And then it's getting better and better, because Like, we are actually running out of space inside of the venue, because we do it inside of the silo venue, homestand, and then, which I wanted to keep that way, because my goal is not to get huge. My goal is always to build that space, for the vendors to be there, but it's a place for them to connect. That's my goal. I don't want it to be like, super big, or like being, making how much money or whatever that is, but it's a space for people to feel a sense of community and feel the connection from that event.
It's also good to have a crowd,
Exactly.
rather than a lot of space, to have a smaller space, a nice crowd.
So, winter market, we typically do it inside.
Yeah.
The outside is the main, the summer market that
What
we do.
happens if you have an overflow there? Do we have an alternative place to do this, or?
For,
The summer, you mean?
For summer market, I haven't think that far yet.
I don't think,
You
yeah.
still have space to grow in
I
that
still
center,
have
in that
some.
parking
Yeah,
lot.
there's still
Yes.
space to
Right
go.
now,
Yes.
you're at the perimeter, you could go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So have we donated to this before?
Yeah.
We did $1,000 last year.
Okay, and where does this come from? Our donation?
Promotions,
Okay. And so we have the ability to do that?
yes.
Okay.
Promotions is got,
We can't vote on it tonight, 'cause
No.
she just brought it up, so.
Yeah.
No.
We
I,
can
I'll
just
put it on the
vote
agenda
for-
for Tuesday.
put on full council.
And then, yeah, I would just ask
Okay,
for
it's
some
on full
finances
council.
to support it, that's all.
Yeah.
Ami, you and Angelina, looks like the summer market has done real well and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Are you out of space in the summertime too, or, I guess what's running through my head is we have the depot. It's not hard surface, it's sod, and that may be a detriment, but there is shade trees and stuff there. I didn't know if anybody thought about anything like using that space or not, or whether,
I can certainly think about it, because it's not far away from where we are. The plan is that we're gonna stay where we are as much as we can, because we already built that presence and then that momentum and consistency. in there.
location.
Yeah, but we can certainly think about it and then see how we can, combine that two together and go from there.
it'd just be an option for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The trees would be advantage. I mean, I don't know what else you need.
Yeah,
The hard surface I can see would be good on a rainy day. So, you got pros and cons.
Well, you guys do a great job with it and appreciate it, and all your work
Yes, thank you
too.
for your effort.
And your breakfasts are delicious.
Yes, they are. Okay, anything else in inquiries for this finance committee? Nick?
Nope.
Yami?
Nope.
Terry?
No.
Jeff?
Motion
Done.
adjourned.
Good.
Charlie?
I'm good.
Scott? Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, our next one is Public Works and Water and Wastewater. I'd like to call a meeting to order. Kathy, would you do a roll call?
Garfield, Mensch.
Here.
DeWitt.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Peterson.
Here.
Pence.
Here.
Rolfs.
Here.
Bro.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
8 present, 1 absent.
Okay, the third one on our list is public comment. I believe each of you guys have a spot, because there's one for the Watseka Rocks and one for Watseka Kicks Butt proposal. So both of you got a spot on there, is that correct? Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's do the Watseka Rocks first then.
My name is Helen Gerber, and with me this evening is Rhonda Pence. We are representing the Watseka Rocks, a group of volunteers who are interested in keeping the downtown area of Watseka attractive and inviting for residents and visitors. The Rocks group started in 2018. Original members were Renee Byerly, Rhonda Pence, Karma Anderson, Candy Godby, and Juanita Muller. Present members are Elizabeth McTaggart, Laura Goyer, Rhonda Pence, Annette Elliott, Joanne Whitesell, and myself. The goal then, as it is now, is to beautify the downtown. Beginning projects were rock paintings placed throughout the town, wall art mounted on several buildings, replacing the tree at the post office, and troughs filled with perennial and annual flowers. The troughs are the subject of my request today. There are 16 troughs located along Walnut Street and 1 block on either side. 12 troughs are owned by the Watseka-Rocks, with sponsorships by area merchants, and 4 larger troughs are owned by the city. To keep these troughs filled and attractive, we are requesting $2,000 from the city. The money would be used for flowers for the spring and summer season, fall decorations for autumn, and greenery and festive ornaments for the winter season. This amount of money would support our efforts for the entire year. In addition to our core members of the Watseka-Rocks group, many other volunteers help us plant flowers in the spring and decorate for winter. The adage of many hands make light work certainly applies here. Most importantly, we want to thank the city for their help and support in watering the troughs. Their regular attention allows the troughs to flourish through the hot weather and remain beautiful until frost. The city employees, with Lauren's direction, are also a great help with the holiday decorations, and we certainly appreciate their commitment. Thank you for letting me speak, and we hope you will consider our request. Questions?
Are you also able to produce some sort of supporting finances similar to her request of?
I didn't hear the start of that question.
Are you able to produce any sort of supporting finances or after finances on how that money is spent or how it's utilized?
Yes.
Okay.
The way we did it in the past
Mhm.
Was a little somewhat chaotic, and there was like 3 steps to it. There was a process. They had Juanita bought some things, and then they had to get some, I think, receipts to Lauren, and then Lauren ended up giving receipts to Kathy, or I'm not sure the process. It was a little,
They were working through the chamber,
yes.
so the Rocks group would get reimbursed on certain items through the chamber, then the chamber would come to the city,
Right.
get reimbursement that way, and then they have their own grant funds that they utilize as well. That comes straight from the city. So we had a meeting a few weeks ago, whatever it was, and just trying to figure out a better avenue, not trying to remove the chamber from assisting or working, but just trying to remove a step in the financial side of things to simplify it. So then they know what's available. We had discussed them coming to us for pre-approvals on everything, or utilizing us to purchase items, but then if they need potting soil or flowers, then I have to work around their schedule, or they have to work around my schedule, and it gets chaotic. So we discussed a donation, so they had funds available to purchase these items when their schedule allows. They can handle it as the season goes through. Just trying to simplify.
Jeff, I
how
think what you're
everybody
asking
works
is,
together.
I think if you just simply provide us with receipts, we don't care what you buy or how you buy it or where,
Yeah, I think your cause absolutely support. You guys are decorating the downtown. I think that's wonderful. You do an excellent job. Appreciate all that. I feel like we should make sure that that we are in due diligence, having support of how the money and showing the support of how the money is spent.
Sure.
So that it's not costing you $1,200 in flowers and then $800 for dinner. I don't know. So that it's supporting it. That's all. And the same request to Yami and the farmers market, that it's equal to everybody. So
Sure.
Right, and I think that the way Benny and Lauren and I have kind of envisioned this would keep it cleaner, because that money would just be rocks, and it wouldn't get confused with chamber money.
Yep.
So
I think that's smoother, really.
yeah, it definitely simplifies things. So then with this donation you're requesting, does that cover the 4 troughs the city owns as well?
Yes. It
Okay,
covers
so
all
just-
16
Just
troughs.
trying to clarify to make sure they know what you guys are working on with these funds, so.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, we would do the city's troughs also.
And you want $2,000?
2,000.
I guess my question, as much as you guys do, is that enough?
Well, you want to give us 4?
I would, yeah. Most certainly. Because I think it looks really nice uptown when you guys do it.
Well, what have you spent before? What does it cost typically?
Well, in all honesty, the fall decorations that we have used have been used several years and are dilapidated. We need to start over there. So although we didn't spend any money on fall decorations last year, the year before, probably the year before that, we need to do that now. And we did not spend any money on Christmas winter decorations this year either. The snowflakes were ones that we had had before. So, we were trying to economize. A lot of it depends upon how many of the perennials return and survive the winter in the troughs. If we have to start over from scratch, perennials are going to be much more expensive than the annuals. And so that would be an issue.
I'm just saying you guys do such a great job. If you need more money, as far as I'm concerned,
Thank you.
I mean, we waste money on other things that
Well, I agree with
I'd be more than
Charlie.
happy to, okay, $4,000 for you.
I agree with Charlie and Jeff. I mean, as long as we're keeping an account separate for that, at the end of the year, you can justify what you've done or not done, and then we can move to next year, accordingly.
I just
So-
didn't want her to come back and say, hey, I need 6 perennials.
Right.
You guys you gotta come back to board approval to
Right.
get 10
That's why I
flowers.
say, that's
you know.
why I think if you
no.
guys want more money, as far as
Don't
I'm
have that.
concerned,
And
I'm
the-
more than
and-
happy to give you
Let's
that.
Now, and the
start with
Rocks
this.
group is still going to continue doing your fundraisers and getting other
Yes,
support,
we have a
right?
fundraiser
So-
planned
Yeah.
that would supplement the cities. Now, I want to go back to Terry's comment about, I thought I heard you to say we would have an account for them, but it really would not be your account. You would cut the check.
Correct.
The check
Yes.
would go into our
Yes.
account,
Right.
But
of which Rhonda is the treasurer.
But you would be able to justify what you spent
Yes.
in that donation. That's what Jeff's
Yes.
referring to, and that would be fine with me.
Yes.
If you had $4,000, could you spend it?
I don't want to spend it frivolously, no.
I know that, but I mean, like updating your fall and updating the
Let-
Christmas stuff.
Let's see how this goes with this increase from last year. Let's see where it stands, and we're certainly, you can always come back in the fall and say, hey, when we do something this or that, come back and talk to us. But
Indirectly, I know
2000
there's a lot of work goes into this, and
Oh, yeah.
of course, we get a lot of compliments. on
Absolutely.
the way that looks, and thanks to Lauren for helping out too.
Yeah.
So.
So, and we had discussed that this will be an annual request.
Yes.
So next year when they come in, they can bring in, their reports to show some itemized costs.
right,
And next year maybe more, maybe less, right, Helen? I mean, so
Right.
this is just
Exactly.
a starting point.
Yeah.
And just like, any other donation request, they'll
Yeah.
be doing this annually and
Yeah.
right.
they'll have a better feel for where their costs are
Yeah.
next year, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Helen, are you working under a 503?
No,
You're not.
no,
Has any
not
of
with this organization.
Has any of that, and I think that's
I mean,
where
it
it all
was-
went through the chamber before, was
Yeah,
you were
the-
not
the
established
chamber
as
would-
501.
The chamber would save you all the sales tax.
No, they are not.
They are not.
They're not.
No.
There's not a
either.
501.
The only way we would
So-
save on the sales tax would be to have Lauren
we-
meet us at
right.
Walmart to buy those 6 petunias
Yeah,
that
we
we need.
discussed, that's why, we discussed us purchasing these items to save sales tax, but trying to align schedules and
His time
every
is
little
worth more
need
than the
was gonna
sales
be
tax.
too time consuming.
Right.
Sales tax isn't that much anyway, is it? I mean,
Have you guys thought about applying for a 501c3?
I mean, I know that.
No,
No,
Not the Rocks is not.
okay,
no. Sorry, no.
gotcha.
Okay, any more? Oh, sorry. Don, go ahead. Your meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So do we need a motion?
Do we need a motion?
Motion?
It's not really on the agenda. I
It's
can
not
put
on
it
the
on for
agenda, no.
Tuesday.
Put it on Tuesday's agenda.
Okay.
Can we,
Thank you, Helen.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you'd like to see 2,000?
2,000.
Okay.
can we up that?
I guess I got shot down because I wanted to.
I mean,
Well,
I
that's,
feel like you should stay with the request, and if they need more, and
Let's
as
just see where
as
they're at.
future holds, and they bring more. I mean, you're right. If next year she comes and says, "Hey, our books show we're spending $5,000, we're able to raise
We gave
$2,500, but we need
$50,000
$2,500
to that
more."
silly
I
thing down there,
understand.
and we can't up them $2,000.
We can up it, but she's not proposing anything else at this
And we
point.
should.
We can't just frivolously give out money without having some sort of justification. She's only asking us for $2,000 because that's all they need right now. You don't just go and offer $4,000 because you feel like it's a great cause. They need to be
And
able
I
to
do
support and give more
intend
information to back
I
it.
do intend to apply for it every year.
Yeah, we'll go from there a step at a time.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Helen.
Thank you.
Bring us your bills next year and we'll go from
Yeah,
there.
that's fine.
Okay, Watseka Rocks, that's over with. Lauren, do you want to do yours? You want to do this Watseka
We
Kicks
can
Butt?
do the
Yeah, let's,
Okay.
kick butts.
And I believe that's
come on up,
Angela?
Angelina. Uh-oh, homework.
Paperwork.
Don't worry, I won't be reading from this.
Okay.
Actually, we're gonna do it like school. Take one and pass it down.
Okay.
Actually, can you hand me one?
So you are gonna read from it.
Well, I might need to reference it for something.
Jeez.
Did I not take one?
Seriously.
Here,
I give them.
here, you can have, here, you can have mine.
We have enough.
There's
Here,
more here.
Here, down, we need, down here. Send it
Back,
bring it back.
bring one.
Give
Bring it
one
back.
to Angela.
Here.
Kathy wants one. Did you guys want one?
Here,
No, she just didn't take it.
just send it down there.
I give.
Gee,
Pass
many
it down.
I
Christmas.
didn't mean for this to be so chaotic.
It's been a while since they've been in school.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you already read it, you know, the way you.
Well, I did read
speak
it.
for yourself,
I
will
did
you?
read
Okay.
it 'cause it was like an
Go ahead.
e-copy of it.
All right. Good evening, council. Might I start off by saying everybody looks wonderful this evening, so dashing out there. You guys know me, but my name is Angelina Pacheco. Christopher could not be here. He is watching Ruby, but I'm representing Watseka Walks as well as Sugar Creek Trading Company. And again, that was Watseka Walks. Watseka Walks started toward the end of last year as a simple idea: get neighbors outside, moving, reconnecting with each other, and rediscovering their backyard. Since then, we've met weekly, walking different routes throughout Watseka. Right now, we are at just past 220 lifetime miles for the group. We have conversations during our walks talking about what's going on locally on a political level, what's new around town, what's coming, what's going, and just sort of rediscovering what makes this community worth showing up for. There's only been 2 weekends where we didn't walk together as a group because of snow. So instead of Watseka Walks, we became Watseka Shovels and shoveled downtown, shoveled the sidewalks leading up to Donovan Park. We've even had members of the community message us on Facebook asking if we could shovel out their mom or their dad who lives in town who can't get outside. So we're always trying to be present and show up every single weekend. Along the way, since the start, we made a commitment to stewardship. On nearly every walk, we collect litter. We're talking everything from car mats, shingles, inner tubes, disposable vapes, an unfortunate amount of those little alcohol bottles, diapers even, but above all else, cigarette butts has been the number one thing that we find along our walks all around town, no matter where it is. Consistently on every route, every part of town. And that's why I'm here tonight presenting you Watseka Kicks Butt, very appropriately named. On the proposal, if you look at the very last page, there's a picture of what I'm going to talk about next. That'll just help you get a visual as to what I'm speaking about. Now, what we want to do as Watseka Walks, as well as Sugar Creek Trading Company, we want to purchase and install 3 of those bins that you are looking at on that last page. Those are called officially butt ballot bins. And they're interactive, community-facing installations developed by an environmental charity group called Hubbub. Each bin poses a fun locally, socially relevant questions. So you can think of questions like Illinois versus Northwestern, or something more local to Watseka, like what does Watseka need more of? Apartments or houses? All of that is relevant, it's local, and it's engaging. Now, the smokers would cast their vote by depositing their cigarette butt into one of the two slots. It sounds fairly simple, and there is data to back it up. 10 years worth of data from the charity group who designed these butt ballot bins. And they see that cigarette litter that's dropped into the bins has been able to clear up about 73% worth of cigarette butt litter in the areas where they are installed. And again, that number comes from over a decade of deployments across more than 5,000 communities in 43 countries. And I do know of these butt ballot bins personally, because I've seen them in a lot of the areas where I've opened up shops, whether it's Asheville or in Toronto. Now, why start downtown? Originally, I had sent the very beginning of this project proposal to Lauren to sort of get his feedback and his thoughts on it, because the ask is not a monetary ask, it's an ask for approval as well as assistance from Public Works. And I wanted to gather his feedback if that was even possible and what he thought. And based on his feedback, I was able to narrow down this project proposal to be specifically based in the downtown area. And we chose downtown because that's where revitalization is happening. That's where foot traffic is starting to grow, and it's the most visible part of Watseka. And it's where there's measurable reduction in litter, is where it's going to be immediately felt and seen. We've had plenty of downtown routes through Watseka walks, and some members up here have even attended some of those walks, and they've seen the litter that we pick up. And it's definitely shouldn't come as a shock or a surprise to anybody, the amount of cigarette butts that we pick up along the downtown area. But like I said, it's where we're going to be able to see the most measurable amount of difference. Now, a successful downtown launch also gives us a replicable model to expand in other parts in the future if it's deemed necessary. One thing that we want to be clear about, and it kind of speaks to the heart of what this initiative is really about. It's not about managing anyone's habits. This is not about telling people whether they should or should not smoke. This is more about reframing these ballot bins as keeping Watseka beautiful. We don't want people to treat any of the outside areas, but for this project specifically, the downtown area like it is their personal ashtray. And that is one of the pages on that proposal that walks through about reframing the marketing behind these butt ballot bins. We also try to be as transparent as possible about all of the pros and cons which are listed in that proposal, everything from who maintains it, who's going to cover the cost of it, as well as the installation, which is part of the ask. Now, what we plan on doing is maintaining it ourselves. Since our shop is downtown, which we are getting ready for an opening soon, we have easier access to where these three ballot bins would be installed, of course, after approval from a site approval from the council, as well as Lauren. We would be able to have access to it to empty out the cigarette bins. And as you can see from the photo, it's very simple. It's a key that opens up the front door and it empties into a bag. It's as simple as that. The bins are powder coated. The glass is fairly unbreakable. And so we would assume responsibility with maintaining it and emptying it. But the extra benefit to it is the cigarettes will not just be going into the trash, they will actually be recycled. We found a recycling program for cigarettes called TerraCycle, and they've also partnered with the charity group who came up with these bins over 15 years ago, and we have already recycled cigarette butts through them. It's free of charge. It is not something that the city or anybody here other than Watseka Walks would have to manage or maintain. And that's all laid out in that proposal, but I didn't want to have to read it word for word. But what we are asking of the city is, again, we're not requesting any financial contribution. Funding is being raised through community donations, as well as the tips that we gather through our business. We've also already had some businesses approach us wanting to sponsor or help in our cause in any way. But of course, we didn't want to put the horse before the the cart before the horse and start talking before we were able to propose this project to council here. And we are also asking for the use of Public Works to install these, to which I had originally sent Lauren to see if it was something that Public Works could do. I've seen what they've been able to do and what they've done just across the street here, so I have full faith that they could do this. But of course, you know, we wanted to go through all of the pros and cons, and the biggest one that we found was ensuring that we are not framing this as we're trying to say, oh, continue to smoke. We are, you know, trying to market smoking. It's reframing it to keeping Watseka beautiful and making that the mission behind this. And so it's wonderful that we are speaking right after Watseka-Rocks, who has done such a wonderful job with the beautification of the downtown area. So when we have our downtown route, we always ensure that we're picking up as much as we can, as well as picking up any of the unfortunate litter that finds its way into those troughs and the different beautified areas that they've spent so much time on. And I've also sent this proposal to Yame and Nick prior to it coming to council, because I wanted to reach out to my older people and to get their feedback and their thoughts on it. So it's as laid out as I can make it in that proposal. I'm open for any questions or comments.
How much do they cost? I'm just curious.
In total for the bins, it's about $1,500. And they do have a purpose if they ever reach their end of life for, let's say, for example, 10 years down the road, you guys want to take them down. They are fully recyclable.
It's all metal.
That's any interest.
It's all metal,
It is
correct?
metal except for the glass, but all of it can be recycled.
Jeff has,
This is the bin, what it looks like on a pole.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And the questions are, you can change them out, obviously, and it would be a wonderful way to engage the community. Our Watseka Walks page, we post photos of the group that attended that weekend's walk, along with pictures of the litter that we picked up. If we have anything interesting that we pick up in terms of litter, we'll post that as our trash of the day. We found everything from street bacon, as well as like full-on tires left in Lakeview Park, unfortunately. And it's a funny way to engage the community, but we've really seen a lot of people wanting to participate. I don't exactly know why. You kind of have to start at some point, but we started it right as winter was beginning, and we just kind of kept showing up every single weekend. But we know as soon as spring and summer comes around, there'll be more people who will participate. We're also planning a town-wide cleanup day for likely at the end of April, and we're pulling the resources that we have for volunteers and trailers and trash grabbers, et cetera. And it's really brought out a different side of the community, especially on our socials. And this is just something that falls very much in line with all of that.
See, I love the idea of that, you know, it's the same way as how I start with farmers market, is that we start something small because we are doing it, and then we can inspire other people to, you know, join us to do the same kind of project. So this is something that I feel like we're putting the right energy into the things that, you know, sometimes we might do something really small that other people, they might not always see it, but if we do it consistently, we really do make a difference. So I just wanted to say thank you for all you do for our community, and you being a inspiration for me.
I know you're not asking for funding for them. How are you guys funding? I'm just curious.
So we've It would be through private donations. We've had, I don't want to say the name of the business that came to us to sponsor. Whether it be this, if this wasn't something that would be approved, they would likely sponsor the townwide cleanup effort that we have. But it's a fairly large sponsor. And other small businesses in the downtown area have also expressed wanting to be a part of sponsorship for it. Each bin is roughly about $500, so three is that $1,500. So it's not a crazy amount. And of course, the bins could be customized. I know that you see that they're bright yellow there. We could easily have them match the city color there. And if it was a whole bin was sponsored by an individual organization, we would certainly note that. But it would be through private donations, as well as, I know it says it in the proposal, sometimes we get a lot of people who try to leave us tips when we are doing our market events, and oftentimes we take those tips and we utilize them by purchasing things from the other vendors, like the Arc has been one that we've purchased items for, but we would like to reserve those tips and have them go into something more specific. And since we run Watseka Walks, it's an easy way to utilize the tip jar for something like this.
Your locations, are we talking the streetlights downtown, poles attach them to, or something different than that?
I don't think we really got specific yet. I know, I think I had suggested focusing on downtown. You know, the rocks groups here, so I'll bring up, unfortunately, the troughs become garbage cans. I think Helen can testify to that. So we were thinking, you know, downtown focusing is where the majority of the foot traffic really is. I would almost like to see one, like maybe two on each side of the main street. So I don't know if we can help purchase one as a city or two as a city to volunteer our efforts.
Maybe we go with something like it's shown there, or you know, like a square tubing, and we mount
So
them right to the sidewalk.
we have the ability to core out the sidewalk, put in our individual posts.
I think that's what it's gonna have to be.
It
Yeah,
may
'cause
be
the rocks
better
put
than
their stuff
attaching
around
to a
the
light post or
posts and
whatever.
stuff.
As
Yeah.
opposed to light posts, so you don't think it can go on the post, on light posts?
No,
We could do, however, there's other posts.
Put their baskets
I think
in
we
there
would just
and-
get together, identify the
Baskets
key
not
areas.
High, yeah.
Mounting them won't be difficult. We can
No.
handle that without a doubt.
I mean,
It's
I think
just-
what you guys are is great. Unfortunately, many smokers have the mentality to just throw it on the ground and litter and don't know what happens to it, I guess. So I appreciate the fact that you guys are working in as a valiant effort to clean our city and help keep that cleaned up. So I definitely, I think, can support your doing this and utilizing our resources to help mount them. I'd even maybe say, do we want to, you know, Charlie, back to the discussion a minute ago, look for support financially for this project? What your
Do we
thoughts are?
wanted to buy them an extra one, so there is 4? Or like, do you need a 4, or do you only need a 3?
Well, so my purpose for bringing the proposal to council tonight was, one, I know that some of you have been aware of this project, but I wanted everyone to know about it, to gather feedback and see what the thoughts were, if there was support for it, before we put in the extra effort of really narrowing down different potential sites that could be later visited as a site inspection to see what can be done. Because I, of course, you know, I value all of your guys' time, and I don't want to, you know, have Lauren schlep out to downtown and see where something could be installed that may never happen. Obviously, I would not be opposed to another 1 or 2 of these bins, because it could certainly, we could use it. And Jeff, to what you were saying, you know, a lot of people are set into that habit of, you know, if you smoke and you throw it to the corner of the street, it is going to take that learning curve and you know, that teaching consistently to get them to use the bins. And that's where that question and that interactive component is helpful. I know that, so it should be no surprise that between the areas where there are restaurants or bars, there's a surplus of it. And it's not just because of that smokers may or may not attend those places. It's just because that's where heavier foot traffic is.
Right,
Between
yeah.
us opening, Bookish will be opening, and hopefully other businesses opening, the downtown traffic is only going to increase. And it would be
Yeah.
lovely to get ahead of some of that, extra litter that we're going to see. And, I know that Sonia and Mary are great friends. One of the questions could be silo versus traditions, and it could be a funny and fun way to engage those who do smoke. And that's the nice part of it, is you get to engage with the smokers on different levels, whether it's a serious question that you put in there, a political question, or just a funny question, cats or dogs, corns or beans. It can be whatever, and that's what we use our social platform to do, is to engage the community, to see what it is they want to see, what questions do they want to vote on to be in next month's ballot bin. So
What you're asking is that first you want everybody to see that if this is a good idea. Second is that you wanted to use Public Works labor to prepare the site, install them, and then so that, we can complete this project. Is that all you're asking? Because there is no, money related to it.
correct, yes. This wasn't a financial ask. It was something that we wanted the Watseka-Walks group to be responsible for. And, we, like I've said before, and I'll say it time and time again, with our consistency with showing up and picking up litter, we also want to continue our stewardship of, the town that we care so much about, and showing pride. And that kind of thing is contagious as well. And we're seeing it bit by bit. And so, correct, I wanted this proposal to be seen by everyone here, to garner thoughts and feedback. And if it was something that the council supported, if they would allow Public Works, the use of Public Works to install them once the money was raised for them and purchased, and they were delivered in here on site.
Any comments?
Yeah, I just want to say, as a former smoker, and a former firefighter, I was always looking for a place to put my butts. I mean, trust me, I was guilty of throwing them on the ground, but I didn't want to throw them in a trash can because I was always afraid of starting a fire. So I think this is a wonderful idea. But I quit smoking.
Good. Good for you.
Good for you.
And thank you for the honesty.
You said you had someone wanting to sponsor the 3 you got going right now?
Not all 3 of them. They wanted to sponsor in a way that they could, but I didn't want to be specific with them because I wasn't certain where this would land with the council. But I don't foresee raising the funds for 3 of them being any kind of problem, because it's not a ton of money. It's still a fair amount of money to raise for just 3 things, but because it is something that is for the community, we've had a fair amount of local businesses say, if you get this approved, or if it's something that you can move forward with, let me know, and let me know how much.
So I had the same concerns as, Jeff, with smokers, and they might not utilize it, but, really thinking about the questions, I think you can really get some rivalry going between sports and local towns, whatnot. But, hearing the small dollar amount, even if they aren't utilized as much as we'd like them to be, it's small dollars in my mind. I mean,
Well, I was thinking that way. I never thought about the way that Charlie just portrayed it, that
it's,
you sometimes don't
Like
know
I
where
say,
to throw
honestly,
it, so you just throw it on
I'm
the ground.
guilty as
So
I'm
I mean,
guilty as ever. I've thrown them on the ground more than
I think it's a good
times.
starting point, start with 3 or 4 of them, and
based on what you're requesting, the 2 things on page 4 there, agreed that, installation of the site and the assistance of Public Works to install it. I would, I guess, make a motion that we move forward with that, or we don't need to do that now, do we? Do we do
Well,
that?
we can put it on the agenda for.
Yeah, it's really not on the
Well,
agenda,
as I
but
say,
I don't think we'd
know
have
if
any
we need
problem.
I would support it myself.
Yeah, I don't think
Just
we'd
say,
have
I
any
don't think we
problem
need to
letting Lauren.
vote,
No, okay.
utilize Public Works to install something
Okay.
downtown. It's no different.
they have to come in again and ask
Put
for
up
us to
a
sponsor
school
one, or
sign.
can we throw that in there and sponsor one right
Well,
off?
Let him
I would say
see what she has for sponsors first, and see what,
Yeah.
I would
we
say,
don't, we don't want to jump in there and take somebody else's advertisement away.
so you certainly have
4
this,
instead of 3.
You certainly have the support of the council to do this
Yes.
project.
And it's not gonna take the whole team of Public Works. You're talking a couple guys for a couple hours. So let me clarify that
You gotta be
too.
like
It's
the
not
state,
all
you
of
have about
Public
5
Works,
guys
so-
up there and an engineer and.
Okay, so are they gonna stand there and smoke while they're doing this?
No,
go.
no.
At least at that place put
They're all younger. I think they vape or whatever they do nowadays.
Oh,
so.
vapor.
Jeez.
Thank you so much, Angelina.
Thank you, Angelina.
Thank you.
Great presentation.
Okay, I believe we're on to Lawrence part right now.
All right, good evening, council. I'm just gonna make this quick and touch on the big projects that we have going on now. Well 12, we're still seeking more bids on the pilot plant and the filtration plant to move forward with that. I'm hoping within the next month or so we'll get more pricing. I didn't want to bring just one cost estimate here. And we are looking at grants for the water side, so we're hoping to find a grant that can help assist with some of those funds. The big topic here under the distribution is the grant for the water main extension on Elm Street. So we had received $450,000 debt forgiveness and low interest loan for these two projects. We had tabled it last month because there were some issues with this grant. So Robinson Engineering, or Keith with Robinson, had told us we were allowed to use the $450,000 debt forgiveness up front and enroll in the low interest loan if needed. He was told incorrectly. We're only allowed to use 30% of the the debt forgiveness up front and the low interest loan. So the project on Elm Street, we were looking at $463,000. We'd only be able to utilize 30% of our funds toward that. So that would put us at like $139,000 toward that project, and we'd be out of pocket the $325,000. So that changes that quite a bit. I don't know how the council feels about it. Unfortunately, you know, $450,000 was presented to us, and now it's really, you're only allowed to use 30% of that up front during the project. So to get the full $450,000, you would have to have a $1.5 million project to receive all $450. You know, and that is for 1,100 feet of water main we were planning on having installed. My recommendations is to reject the bids and turn down the grant. We're able to do this project in-house for roughly $120,000 out of pocket, and that's including staff costs, fuel, materials, whatnot, because we can install for about $100 a linear foot. Versus the $500 a linear foot we're seeing through contractors. So if we bring this in-house, we'd be about $110,000, $120,000 out of pocket versus the $325,000. So even with a grant, you know, we're out more money. It's unfortunate that this grant worked out. You know, typically you can use the debt forgiveness 100% up front. With this EPA loan, they're only allowing 30% of it up front.
Lauren, with all the projects we have going on this year, isn't this gonna be a 27 project
This would
anyway?
be rolled into next year.
Right.
So that's the only other issue, is going to be a delayed project. We did complete the loop from Brianna down to Clarence, so this would just continue that 12-inch from Clarence down to 8th Street. It's not detrimental that it doesn't get done, but we would focus on this project next year.
27.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Okay.
a lot of information there. I know we were excited about receiving a big grant. It's not working out the way we were told, for one reason or another. So I wanted to bring this to the council and let you guys make the decision if you want to bring it in-house for next year and do it under Public Works, or move forward with this year through the grant but you would be about $325,000 out of pocket to complete it.
I'm certainly not recommending that.
No.
I'm saying this is an in-house project for 27.
Yeah, especially if there's no hurry, let's just wait.
There's no hurry.
Yeah, it's, that
don't
that
even
water
need-
main's been there for 50, 60 years
Right.
now. It's gonna, one more year isn't gonna be detrimental.
I'd say let's table it for now.
So we need to reject, it, so we need to, did this get put on the council today? So
Yeah.
we need to vote to reject in order to notify bidders of this project and then notify the EPA as well.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to reject the bid.
I'll second it.
Can we vote on that today?
Well, he's got it on here.
Okay. Now that would be Third Street.
It'll go to the next week anyway,
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Be voted on next week.
yeah. I'll just put it on the agenda
Put it
for
on the
next
agenda.
week,
Okay,
since it's not actually spelled out on this.
okay.
Last month, we just tabled it really quickly, so today I wanted to have a in-depth conversation, and so we'll put it on next week's.
Now, with that, are we going to buy the stuff that we need this year?
No,
Because there's probably going to be
no,
a
so
markup
we can
on it.
budget for it accordingly as well.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is put the funds in May 1st, purchase the material next January, February, and we would probably break ground in the early spring next year.
Based on the results of that vote, will you explain to those bidders why we retracted their bids?
Yeah, and I've already spoken with the low bidder.
Okay.
Because they were wanting to know the status of it, and I explained the situation to them personally, so.
Thank you.
Our Second Street water main project, the materials have been ordered. I'm expecting to see that end of this month, beginning of April, with expectations of starting that project in May. No updates at the wastewater plant, sanitary and storm sewers. We've been trying to correct some of the smaller issues around town with the small windows of weather here we've had recently. So we installed a couple of storm structures and some pipe over on by 702 North Jefferson. That's actually on the side street, Washington. Trying to dry up that area. It's constantly holding water next to the animal clinic there. The road needs some repairs. We want to make some repairs there, but until you remove the water, there's no point in making road repairs. So the road repairs are something we're planning on doing in-house. And then we installed a storm structure over on the Martin Avenue extension. We had discovered, for one reason or another, when that was designed, the north side of that box culvert was not draining anywhere on the new road. So we installed the structure and tied it into the storm sewer there. Robinson Engineering will be reimbursing us for materials on that project. So trying to work with our engineer to try to keep costs down for everyone's sake. The next big item is parks. Obviously, you guys can see we've broke ground over across the street on our sand volleyball. We'll be receiving all the equipment tomorrow for that. Planning on removing dirt Wednesday, so I'm hoping next week we will see a sand volleyball court in place at the Lakeview. And that is 2 courts. It'll be a 80 by 83 court. We are going to be installing the under drain system this week. We had to move a structure over there to tie that storm sewer in. And we've received about 50% of the material for our splash pad. So hoping to receive the rest of that within the next couple of weeks. And then we'll plan accordingly on breaking ground there. We will be pressure testing and getting the new water main in service here in the next couple of weeks in preparation of the splash pad. That's all been installed, but we didn't feel there was a need to pressurize it and have stagnant water sitting there all winter long, so we left it shut off. Still trying to get quotes on asphalt for the pickleball court, so there's no real movement there. Waiting on the band shell to be delivered. I don't have an ETA on that. Still waiting on our architectural designs for the bathroom. But there's going to be a lot of movement out there here in the next couple months, so you'll see a lot of progress. Pretty excited. We've had a lot of people stopping, asking us what we're doing, and pretty excited here that we've got sand volleyball and pickleball and a lot of different amenities coming in. I recently toured and talked with Bradley, checked out their splash pad, and some of their feedback was very positive. I asked them how to utilize their splash pad was, and they said any given day they have 90, 100 people there at any time. They said that's a heavily used item in their park. So they said that's a good move on the city's part, installing something like that. They have a recirculating system on theirs, and we are doing just potable water discharging to our ponds.
Mm-hmm.
They said, well, it was a very smart move on our part. The recirculating system makes it another public pool with the testing, the upkeep. They said it's been nothing but troubles. Whenever it rains, it changes all the chemistry in the water. So they said kudos to you guys for making that decision, not doing a recirculating system. They said between the headaches and the cost and the problems, it's just they wish they had gone a different route. So just a little bit of feedback. So I've been meeting with different public works directors, getting feedback on some of their projects in their parks and other items. So last thing on parks is I wanted to discuss Peters Park uphill LED lighting. We had installed LED lighting in our downhill ball diamonds last year, and we had left money in the budget for the uphill LED lighting. I have one quote. I'm working on a second quote. We have funds in the parks line item for repairs and upkeep. I would like to get it on the agenda next week to vote. Once I get the second quote, I'll get both quotes over to the council and a dollar amount to Kathy. But I'd like to get that done and complete it before baseball takes off, and that's within the next month. So I'd like to get that on next week's agenda. Some of this was just updating some of our lighting, trying to reduce some of our electrical costs. So I'll get that to Kathy for next week. Streets, no major conversation we had there. Staffing still down 1 employee. Equipment still waiting for a 3-ton to get completed. But other than that,
I saw there's no water main break.
yeah, knock on
That's-
wood. We'll be out tonight. I didn't really want to talk about it, to be honest with you. I just skipped right over that.
There it goes.
That's a plus.
Yeah. So, and then Oak Street resurfacing. That's there were some issues. Keith said that should be circulating the contracts back to us this week. So that's been awarded, and hopefully get that on IPC's schedule to get completed soon. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Any questions, concerns?
I do have a question for you, Lauren. There had been some question about utilizing Watseka in your services to help with the Aroma Park in that area up north. And I understand you have offered and been in assistance, and you have some relationship. Would you mind just kind of sharing?
Yeah, so I am actually good friends with Roma Parks Public Works Director. We snowmobile together, actually, so just a little tidbit. So I know him very well. That is a mixture of Aroma Park and Aroma Park Township, Kankakee Township. They've got several different entities there, and they're pretty overwhelmed with the amount of help up front, which is good. They have a lot of people. I was actually up there Saturday delivering the Family Festival trailer with lots of donations, and thank you for Watseka. We received a good turnout on a lot of donations. So I was up there Saturday visiting with a few other people I know that received damages to their homes. They have it under control. It's not something you just barge in, you wait for the phone call when they need help or need relief. So we have been in contact with different entities up there in Aroma Park. Like I said, I was just with Public Works Director at Kankakee and Bradley within the last week. I've been staying in contact with everybody up there, and at this point they have it under control. So if we were to just barge in there, we'd be stepping on people's toes. But, you know, this is going to be a several month cleanup for those people up there. So there's going to be a time where they're needing relief, and that's probably when we'll receive phone calls. And at that point, I've already made it clear that we are and willing and able to come up and give them whatever relief they need. So, and I didn't think the council would have an issue with that, but
No, not at all.
Lord knows we've used them before, so
Yep.
thank you.
Do we have other comments or questions from any of the committee meeting members here?
I just wanted to say that I'm very grateful of what we're doing here. I just genuinely feel that we are a team, and we, you know, focus on the things that what we can do, and to make our town better. So I just wanted to say that I'm very, very grateful.
I agree.
Anything else? I do have one request. Back in April of '22, when Alderman Cahill was here, he brought up the 300 block of West Hickory Street, the car repair, wrecking business and stuff that's over there. And it seems like it's growing exponentially. I would encourage everybody here to take a drive through there, look at it, and I think maybe in another month we need to put it on the agenda and have a discussion about it. Seems like they've talked to him. The guy says, yeah, he'll do something, but nothing has happened.
Isn't that guy supposed to put up the fence and all that stuff?
That was
Well,
Crossroads.
that's the rumor, yeah.
That's, yeah, I was down there.
It
Yeah,
is
there's no-
Crossroads?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked we gave him the 6 months, I thought. I have a note too as well. I was gonna ask about that, so.
Okay.
Wasn't that a 6-month deal that they had to have it up?
Well,
Something
that's,
like that.
yeah.
If you drive down there, it's,
Well, anyway, this is from '22, so that's been 4 years.
I thought when Eric,
April 12th.
months last fall, Eric here in the meeting, and we had talked about giving them, they were here, and we talked about giving 6 months to get a fence up, is what I thought I recall. Maybe I'm wrong. So, I was curious the status too. I was waiting for Eric, but yeah.
So anyway, like I said, if you haven't been down there, take a drive down there. Unfortunately, we have a homeless guy building a
I saw that.
encampment.
oh, Jesus.
It's getting bigger all the time. I see he's been cutting some trees down, and so I don't know. It's a tough situation. I don't know what to do, but we do have McDonald's right there, and people stop, and we have the gentleman with the porky barn that sits in front of it. I think we need to address that somehow too. So that's my comment for tonight. If
Could we ask
anybody
Eric-
else,
Could we ask Eric for an update on the fence?
We can.
okay. If nothing else, I call for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.